Fall riding is some of the very best riding in Minnesota. Temperatures drop to a comfortable level, the bugs are gone, and the autumn color serves to enhance this connection we have to nature. Unfortunately, these Goldilocks conditions of just right are ended each year much too early by the freeze-thaw cycle that leaves the ground soft and vulnerable to damage. Not long after that comes the grip of old man winter. This can be a hard time for mountain bikers, with the inevitable long, dark winter months ahead. Many mountain bikers will turn to their favorite YouTubers, living vicariously through them in order to pass these dark times.
We're at a slaughter pen. We did half of it.
Slaughter pen.
There's a whole...
I should go to Bentonville. That would be fun. They got skinnies there. Bentonville.
It's said that many mountain biking trips are actually planned during these discontented months.
Whoa!
Fortunately, there's a cure for these winter blues. Enter the Fatbike. That's right, it's simple. Just hop in your car and drive to your favorite local bike shop.
New bike day, new bike day, new bike day, new bike day, new bike day.
Carouse the aisles. Swipe your card, or insert the chip if the little machine tells you to, and say goodbye to your winter blues. Wait. Actually, there's an important step we're missing here. Make sure to do your research on fat bikes before you head out to the bike shop. This way you'll get what you want out of your new rig. How fat do I want these tires? Should I splurge on a carbon fiber frame? What are pogies? What's Q factor? Now you can hop in your car, drive to the bike shop, carouse the aisles. Okay, so getting a fat bike can extend your riding season, but should you get a fat bike? To answer that, let's look at what fat biking is and, just as importantly, what it isn't. Also worth covering is what you'll need to get other than the fat bike itself to get out riding in winter conditions. What is fat biking? Simply put, it's riding a bike with a frame that can accommodate really fat tires. These wide tires give you a lot of confidence and will put a smile on your face because they are fun to ride anywhere. But on especially loose terrain is where these bikes outperform all others. Think sand, or here in the upper Midwest, snow. These big tires mean high volume, and high volume means you can run really low tire pressure. The lower your tire's air pressure, the better your bike will grip the surface it's on, as well as float over loose surfaces. Standard mountain bike tires just can't run low enough pressures to float over most blankets of snow. And don't even think about it on a road bike. Hop on a fat bike with low tire pressure, and you'll find you can roll right over most fresh snowfalls. This opens up a whole new door to your winter recreation. Some people snowboard, ski, snowshoe, or go out ice fishing. I think fat biking allows you to get out and cover even more ground, get great exercise, and really connect with the outdoors during a time of year that maybe you hadn't before.
Cool.
And the winter landscape is not something you want to miss. Okay, so that's fat biking in a nutshell. Now, what is fat biking not? Well, for one, they're not fast. Those big heavy tires make them very slow, and so they're not going to replace your efficient commuter bike, for instance. Also, as most fat bikes don't have suspension, which would just make them heavier and slower, they're not a good replacement for a full suspension mountain bike, in my opinion.
Now I know a lot of people are gonna disagree with me on that, and that's completely fine. I get it. I go mountain biking on my fat bike and it's a ton of fun. They're very, very capable. That being said, I still think the full suspension mountain bike is the best tool to smooth out the rocks and the roots on the trail and to soften hard landings, which, if you have a tendency to case jumps like I do, is gonna come in really, really handy and save your tail.
So if you're in the market for your first fat bike, there are a few other important things you'll want to consider. Let's take a look. First off, clothing. Now, I'm not going to go over how to properly dress for winter fat biking, as there are plenty of videos out there that already show you how to do that. But it's worth noting that if you don't already have a solid layering system that's warm yet breathable, which is good for exercising in cold temps, this is certainly an additional investment you'll need to make before you go out riding. After all, what's the point in buying a fat bike only to be miserably cold while riding it? Next up, lights. Unlike the right clothing, bike lights are not a requirement to get you out fat biking in winter. At the same time, daylight isn't abundant this time of year. With most winter days having 14 to 15 hours of darkness, one of the hardest things about winter riding is finding the time to get out. Lights make that easier. Not only are modern bike lights made sufficiently bright, enabling not only others to see you, but also for you to see where you're going, but they also make for a whole new type of riding. If you haven't gone out trail riding in the dark, I would recommend it because it happens to be a load of fun. Wearing two lights is key if you're going on a trail in the woods. Your brighter light should be on your bike, typically mounted on the handlebars, shining straight ahead to provide that constant beam. The other should be mounted on your helmet so that as you look around, you can actually see what you're looking at. This is especially helpful while going around turns. If you have a day job or other responsibilities that would often prevent you from riding during most daylight hours, you'll definitely want to consider investing in some lights. Finally, there are studded tires. Though they're expensive and not needed in most conditions, studded tires will be your friends when things turn icy. To be clear, studs will do nothing to help you in fresh powder or with any amount of snowpack. They certainly don't hurt, but it's the tire's normal treads that'll get you through these conditions. But when things thaw, then freeze, then thaw, then freeze, and ice seems to coat the entire surface of anything outdoors, studs will keep you upright and allow you to bike like normal. Studded tires are completely optional, but if you've invested in a fat bike and you don't want your riding to be hindered by whatever Mother Nature throws at you, these will ensure you're able to get out biking no matter how icy.
Alright, was that helpful? I hope it was. Look, if you're still on the fence about whether or not you should get a fat bike, I'll try to boil it down to the basics. More than anything, they are fun to ride. The big tires go over anything, they give you a ton of confidence, but they do have some limitations. Namely, they're slow, and they shouldn't be thought of as a like-for-like substitute for your full suspension mountain bike. But if you're looking to extend your riding season into the winter, or maybe you just want one bike. You want one bike, you want it to be able to go on any trail, you want to be able to ride any time of year, then a fat bike should probably be that bike. I know for me personally, I love my fat bike. Really happy I got it. I was on the fence for a while too, wondering if it would be worth it, would I ride it, enough. And I do. I'm out all winter on it. Instead of waiting for the spring thaw, I'm now out biking all winter. Winter riding's a ton of fun, unique riding experience, and for that reason alone, I would totally recommend getting one if it's something you're thinking about. Instead of being inside all winter, waiting to get out, you can now ride all the way to the spring thaw.